recession now means more layoffs from the city of Pasadena. The on-again, off-again relationship between the Rose Bowl and the NFL may be on again. Plus, CCN Sports, Tech Byte, and weather. All this next on Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood, seconds away.
Hi, I'm Jesse Avila at the Convalescent Aid Society, a nonprofit organization established in 1923. We provide the free loan of durable medical equipment, of hospital beds, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, and many other items. Your donations and contributions are welcome and greatly appreciated. We are located at 3255 East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena.
We're here to help you!
Please give us a call and check for availability at 626-793-1696.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Our top story, City Manager Michael Beck announced plans to potentially lay off 14 city employees. This comes at a time when the recession continues to impact city revenues and a $17 million windstorm recovery cost looms over the city of Pasadena. CCN's Natalie Tavidian is here live with the latest. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Sehnita. So the city's been making some cutbacks and they're trying to save money any which way they can, and this time it's with layoffs. So the new year may come with some difficult news for some city employees. It was on Thursday that management told 14 city staff members that they're being considered for layoffs. The city has close to 2,000 full and part-time employees, and elimination of these 14 would save approximately $1.8 million a year. City officials say the layoffs might have to happen to make long-term budget corrections. The effects of the recession continues to take a toll on city revenues and city employees. On Thursday, the city of Pasadena told 14 city employees that they are being considered for layoff. The city will make a final decision by March.
The layoffs that we're experiencing now are the result of a number of things working together. We are still experiencing the effect of the recession and the resulting tax revenue loss. The dissolution recently by the state of community redevelopment agencies and the increasing cost of pensions. All of those things work together to make these layoffs a necessity.
The sales tax revenue loss comes from a loss of businesses in the city. The recent loss of redevelopment agencies are also part of the equation. They generated about $30 million a year in tax revenue. To add on to the hardship, the city didn't get reimbursed by state or federal agencies for the massive windstorms, forcing the city to pay for the $17 million of damages incurred. Nearly 300 city positions have already been cut since 2009. Pasadena City spokesperson Tim McGalvery says it's part of a plan to get the city permanently back in shape.
This is all part of a 5-year plan to balance the budget by 2014 to get it permanently back in shape. We've had a structural deficit that we've had to correct. So this is another one of very difficult decisions we've had to make to try to correct that structural deficit.
Almost all of the possible eliminations in consideration are mid-level management positions. The city expects to save approximately $1.8 million a year. McGalvery says this has been a difficult time for all involved.
This is a very difficult decision. I know that the city council and the city manager look at this and they're not just seeing numbers on a piece of paper. They realize that these are people with, they're good employees doing good work, and it's truly regrettable that we have to let anyone go. The
14 positions being considered for elimination come from 16 city departments. The decision must be made by March. When asked about other potential options such as furlough days, the spokesperson said, quote, "The situation is not serious enough to warrant furloughs across the board. Officials say some or all of the 14 employees may receive the pink slips in a month. They will take into consideration where they can make efficiencies and where they can make some redundancies, in which case that person's work would be reassigned to a number of people."
Well, it sounds tough out there. At least as they're saying, it's not as serious as it could be.
Yeah, and we'll see if all 14 will be eliminated.
All right, well, thanks for that, Natalie. For more information on the city budget and the potential layoffs, you can log onto the city website at cityofpasadena.net. Now, voters passed Prop 8 in 2008, but that wasn't the last word on the proposition. In 2010, a U.S. District Court judge overturned the controversial state bill to deny marriage rights to same-sex couples. And last week, in a 2-1 decision, the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed the judge's decision and ruled the bill unconstitutional. That still isn't the last word, as the case is most likely headed to the U.S. Supreme Court. We also wanted to hear your thoughts on the bill. CCN's Paulo Alejandro hit the streets to find out what local residents had to say.
In the 4 years since voters passed it, Prop 8 has been a point of contention for conservatives and liberals alike. Tuesday, California's 9th District Court of Appeals ruled the proposition unconstitutional, giving those against it what some might call a victory.
Hey, if we're going to grant the institution of marriage, and you can marry 10, 11, 12 times and not get it right, and yet there are gay and lesbians out there that have been in committed relationship, then so be it. Let them marry.
Right. To some, the court's ruling disregards the values of the voters who passed Prop 8, making marriage legal only between a man and a woman. Still, others say the values of those against Prop 8 have also been trivialized.
If you define marriage as between a man and a woman, you're doing that out of personal opinion and because something bothers you personally, not whether or not it's right in and of itself.
Most Pasadenans we talk to seem supportive of the court's ruling, but some local churches, including Pasadena's Lake Avenue Church, consider gender the most important factor in defining a marriage. An official there agreed to interview with us, but then changed his mind when we showed up. They pointed us instead to their website. A couple clicks on the site and you'll find a hyperlink labeled Statement on Marriage. Click on that and you'll find Lake Avenue's definition of marriage. Quote, a covenant between a man and a woman. It goes on to say that pastors and officials can only officiate marriages taking place between a man and a woman. The last line of their policy reads, we will seek to support and strengthen marriage as it is defined in the scriptures. We couldn't find anyone at Lake Avenue Church willing to go on camera in defense of Proposition 8. But off camera, one couple said that marriage is about family, having children, and that 2 men can't have a baby together, nor can 2 women. No word yet if the recent Prop 8 decision will end up before the Supreme Court, but some experts say that's unlikely. In Pasadena, Paulo Alejandro, CCN.
Now here's a snapshot of some other stories right here in the San Gabriel Valley. No murder charges were filed in the cold case against ex-Tournament of Roses board member Richard Allen Munecki this past Friday. Prosecutors said there wasn't sufficient DNA evidence to convict the 71-year-old Munecki in the 2004 slaying of Donna Lee Kelly. Police arrested Munecki of Alhambra last Wednesday in connection with the murder of Kelly, a former Rose Parade volunteer with whom he'd been romantically linked. Her body was found in the trunk of her car in March of 2004 by her daughter after she drove her mother's vehicle and smelled a foul odor. In a document released by the LA County DA, the only thing linking Munecki to the crime was a pubic hair. According to the document, there are other potential suspects and the evidence was insufficient to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Munecki denies having any sexual involvement with Kelly and the case is still ongoing. The South Pasadena Police Department is looking for a man who broke into a home and sexually assaulted an 18-year-old woman this past Wednesday. The assault occurred at 2:50 a.m. while the victim was asleep in her home in the 600 block of Monterey Road. Police say the preliminary investigation showed that the suspect forced entry into the victim's home. Watch Commander Jason Lucas with the Pasadena Police Department says sufficient DNA evidence found at the scene helped identify and lead to the arrest of the suspect. Police described the suspect as a white male between the ages of 40 and 50 years old with curly dark brown hair, brown eyes, and standing about 6 feet tall. For any information on the suspect or this case, contact South Pasadena Police Department at 626-403-7280. NASA announced today that budget cuts to aerospace and exploration would be a part of this year's 2013 fiscal budget. The cuts are part of a $17.7 billion budget request NASA unveiled today, a difference of 0.3 from the $17.8 billion Congress approved last November of 2011. The cuts will affect planetary exploration, the most including 2 expected missions with the Europeans to explore Mars in 2016 and 2018. During the last budget proposal at NASA, JPL laid off about 240 people. NASA officials say the aerospace companies and workers in all 50 states will share the pain of the 350 employees projected to be jobless following a $1 trillion cut to the defense budget. And is the NFL any closer to playing at the Rose Bowl? And Curtis will let you know if you'll need to bundle up with your Valentine with his forecast for the week. Don't go away. You're watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
If your child is getting behind in school and needs help organizing, reading, writing, or studying, Klein's Classes can help. Audrey Klein has been teaching for more than 20 years. Her book, Skills for Student Success, can teach your child essential learning tools. Klein's Classes are affordable and conveniently available online. You can view the lessons and educational films anytime.
I've seen children jump 2 reading levels in 1 year. I've proven it over and over again.
Don't let another semester pass without getting your child some help. Visit kleinsclasses.com and get started today.
It's been 17 years since LA could cheer for a local NFL team. There have been ongoing talks about bringing a team back. If a team returns, folks have thrown around the idea that the team would play at the historic Rose Bowl while building a new permanent stadium. But so far, it's all been just talk. CCN's TK Trinidad is here live for more on that story. Now, TK, are you a big football fan?
I'm a huge football fan. I actually used to play football as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see if we'll eventually have an NFL team in the Southland, but we have a long way to go before we know for sure. A lot of major players involved here, including 2 billionaires willing to build 2 separate stadiums without taxpayers' money. But the plan is still many yards from a touchdown.
A little over a week following the Giants' Super Bowl win against the Patriots, the rumblings about a football team in LA have begun again. If the NFL decides to bring a team to LA, they'll need at least 4 years to build a new stadium. During that time, the NFL would likely choose LA's Coliseum or Pasadena's Rose Bowl as their temporary location. But here in the San Gabriel Valley, not everyone's excited about NFL games at the Rose Bowl. Linda Vista Annandale Association President Lee Zaniston says many residents in his neighborhood don't like the idea of a team coming into town, and they'll make their voice heard.
The Central Arroyo is our central park, and it's very, very heavily used. You lose essentially the use of the Central Arroyo on weekends for 4 or 5 months a year.
But others say the Rose Bowl is the perfect place to temporarily house the NFL, especially since Pasadena faces a multi-million-dollar budget gap. Chamber of Commerce President Paul Little says the city should consider the possibility.
Back in December, decided that it was in Pasadena's best interest to at least look at what the opportunity might present, look at those positives, look at those negatives.
If the city does decide to bring the NFL to the historic Rose Bowl, they would first need to conduct an environmental impact report, which would take about 9 months to complete and cost around $200,000 to $300,000.
The city's in a tough situation financially right now. The windstorms, just the overall difficult economic times we're in. The Rose Bowl, we're in the middle of a renovation and we have a deficit. It's speculative. There's no guarantees the team's going to come to LA.
At some point, a decision will be made to move a team into the Los Angeles market. There's no telling when that decision will be made, how that decision will be made. We don't even know who's going to be making the decision. It could be 5 years or 10 years or 25 years. Who knows?
In 2006, Pasadena voted down bringing a permanent NFL team to the Rose Bowl. They may soon have to choose whether they'll allow a team in Pasadena on a temporary basis. But just like last time, the city will no doubt remain divided on the issue. Zaniston says 4 simple words from the football commissioner would make all the difference to him.
We're not coming.
A 2004 economic report found that the Rose Bowl could generate about $3.1 million in ticket revenues and other purchases and deliver around $140,000 in taxes to the city. A single Super Bowl would generate $4.3 million for the city, but this is all speculation. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has yet to commit to the idea. Speaking on NBC's Costa Live, Goodell said the league would add 2 teams instead of 1 to solve the problems solve the possible scheduling problems. At this point, we have to wait and see what happens in the next chapter. Sehnita, back to you.
Wait and see.
Yep,
Thanks for that,
waiting.
TK. Well, experts from the Urban Land Institute called for local officials to help preserve natural areas around the Arroyo Seco and offset the costs of current merchants and charging for parking at the stadium. Even Mayor Bogard discussed the possible temporary use of the Rose Bowl in his State of the City address. If the NFL moves to LA if the NFL does move to Pasadena. Several council members have been quoted in favor of temporarily housing the NFL at the Rose Bowl. Still, there are currently no negotiations, but if it does happen, the city has said it would at least look at the opportunity. With the rains today, will you need to snuggle at the fireplace with your Valentine? CCN's meteorologist Curtis Peak is here live to let us know if the sun will show us some love for Valentine's Day. Curtis?
Well, I think the sun will show us a little love, and about that snuggling, yes, it's going to be cold. We have two cold fronts, one that passed through today. We're going to get a little respite tomorrow, and we do have another cold front that's going to come in on Wednesday with a chance of rain. Let's take a look at our satellite radar right here. As you can see, this storm that did pass through is moving east. We do still have that counterclockwise rotation that's sitting there is giving us clouds right here. Here's the storm I'm talking about that's going to make its way down the coast by Wednesday. But the funny thing about these storms, over the last 2 or 3 storms we've had, they've broken up before they were able to reach us. So we've got a scattered showers, not a lot of rain out of that. We have predicted that, but those storms have broken up before they have made their way down into the Los Angeles basin, into the San Gabriel Valley. As we take a look at our almanac right now, we saw the high today was 57 degrees. Our low tonight is going to be 45. We are about 11 degrees below average where we should be right now. Tonight, we're going to be about 1 degree above average. Back in 1957, our high was 88. Back in 1948, our low was 27 degrees. We are going to see some mountain snow tonight. We are going to see about maybe an inch of snow because we have right now in Crestline up in Big Bear City, we are seeing a little slush, a mixture of rain and snow. But as it does get colder tonight, we are going to see the snow begin to stick on the ground. So about an inch of snow, if possible, maybe even a dusting of snow. And we are going to see a rest, as I said a few minutes ago, between these two storms. Tomorrow, we are going to see the sun that's going to come out. We are going to have a weak ridge of high pressure. Just going to stay here just one day. That weak of high pressure is going to give away, dissipate by Wednesday morning. And we are going to see that rain begin to fall probably afternoon. But look at the weekend. We are going to have a cool and dry weekend. We are going to have a cool week. Temperatures are going to stick around in the 60s. The upper 50s. Right now outside we have 51 degrees. Our winds are the west-southwest at 13 miles per hour. Our humidity, look at that, 78%. It's really muggy and kind of wet out there. Sunrise tomorrow morning is going to be at 6:40. Our sunset tomorrow afternoon at 5:34. Our lows for tonight, we have 44 in Monrovia. Arcadia, look at that, 42 degrees. That's going to be our chilly spot. And Glendale, you're just 1 degree above that at 43 degrees. Our highs for tomorrow, 59 in Monrovia. Arcadia, you are coming at 58. Look at that. It's going to be downright chilly tomorrow for your Valentine's Day. So yes, you are going to need to snuggle, put on the jacket, take a walk, go to the beach. Should be nice, you know, and enjoy the Valentine's with your loved one. All right, here we take a look at that 7-day forecast right here. Here's that Valentine's right here. 59 degrees tomorrow. Wednesday, 60 degrees. Thursday, 69 degrees. This is when that ridge of high pressure, it does come in. By Friday, it's going to be our warmest day at 70 degrees, clear skies, but that high pressure begins to dissipate. We are going to see that low pressure come back in for the weekend. It's going to be dry, no rain in this. 67 degrees, Sunday, 60 degrees, Monday at 64 degrees. But look at our lows overnight, down in the 40s. So winter has arrived here in Southern California. We've been asking for this. It is finally here. So let's enjoy it. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Please go out, have a good time, and enjoy your loved ones.
All right, well, that is downright chilly. Well, the Miss America pageant is bringing miracles to children in need. When Miss Los Angeles County 2011, Laura Berger goes on camera with me. Next on CCN, Crown City News, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
Hi, I'm Lena Petty with your CCN Energy Saver. I'm here with Southern California Edison's Dave Ford. Dave, can customers really save money on the complex fluorescent bulbs?
Well, Lena, first of all, I want to let you know how it's a pleasure to see you again. And of course, they can save money when they're using Energy Star rated type of lamps or any other type of product that is Energy Star rating. What I have to show you today is an incandescent lamp as well as a compact fluorescent. This is an incandescent. This lamp here is a compact fluorescent. This lamp will save, comparing an incandescent to a compact fluorescent, it'll save energy, it lasts twice, 3 or 4 times the amount of hours of usage, and it doesn't put out as much heat. And it's definitely going to be a good product for customers to use when they're considering changing out lighting in their home to more energy efficient lamps.
Well, thank you for that information, Dave. Hopefully customers find it helpful. This has been Luna Petty with your CCN Energy Saver.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
Okay, folks, we have some royalty in our midst. One of our producers at Crown City Media, she's been helping behind the scenes to produce Game Changers, is also part of the Miss America organization. Miss Los Angeles County 2011, Laura Berger is here to tell us about her work with the organization and a major event they have planned to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Welcome to this side of the desk here, Laura.
Thank you.
Well, what made you get involved with Miss America?
Well, actually, it started out when I was 16, and I've always played the piano. So for me, it was another performance opportunity, another place I could sort of express my talent. And as I moved into college, those scholarships really helped out and made a difference. But now one of the reasons that I've stayed involved is the Children's Miracle Network.
Oh, that's great. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but tell us, what is the difference? Because there's so many pageants out there. There's Miss USA, Miss Universe, all of that. How does Miss America, how is it different?
Well, it is a nonprofit organization, and the primary purpose of the Miss America organization is to provide scholarships. That really is the mission. And it's not your stereotypical beauty pageant. There's no entry fee. And I think the girl who wins isn't necessarily going to be somebody who looks like a model or has that stereotype, but is someone who really has the motivation behind her cause, and that is the platform, and that's a concept that's very important with Miss America too.
So you don't think this in any way objectifies women? Because a lot of people view pageants as really anti-feminist. What do you think about that?
You know, it is viewed that way, but I think it's a little bit inaccurate. One of the things that's really important to remember is that Miss America is a role model. And right now, there are so many young women who struggle with the idea of a body image. So it's difficult, but you have to have someone who is a good role model and who shows what it is to have that fit physique. Because the swimsuit competition isn't about being a model. It's about being somebody who's in shape. And I think that's important. It's an important message to send.
Okay. Now, tell us about this event that you have set up with the Children's Miracle Network, and you're partnering with IHOP, I believe, right?
Well, IHOP's National Pancake Day is something that the Miss America organization and Children's Miracle Network get together and collaborate on. And what IHOP will do is give away a free short stack of pancakes to any customer from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on February 28th. That's Tuesday. That's actually next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow. And what they ask is that the guest considers making a donation that's equivalent to the amount that the short stack would cost. And the things that the donation will go toward, here's an example. This is just the tiniest little preemie diaper. And this is for, can we zoom in on this? Sure.
It's so tiny.
It's tiny.
It's smaller than the palm of my hand.
Yeah, and the blood pressure cuff is as big as my finger. And so these are for babies that are 24 weeks old. And this is just an example of what someone's donation will go toward with the Children's Miracle Network.
Okay, well that is amazing, and we're going to have your donation page up. I believe we have it up there, and we're also going to put it on our website at crowncitynews.com.
That is wonderful.
Thank you for coming on, Laura.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, well, Jairo Romero gives us a front row look at San Gabriel Valley's most anticipated game in high school basketball, John Muir Mustangs versus the Pasadena Bulldogs. And don't miss Grant Jordarian's latest insight into the tech world. All coming up next on CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.
Unleash your inner shark. Sharky Zartman's book, Shark Sense, reveals the 14 life-changing steps you can take today to start reaching your goals. Through her witty yet no-nonsense approach, Sharky Zartman unlocks the lessons we can all learn from sharks.
I use the shark as a symbol for your inner source of strength and power, the part of you that doesn't know the meaning of the word can't.
Stop settling for less and start living with confidence and purpose. Order Shark Sense today at sharksense.org and get in touch with your inner shark.
Well, let's check in with Grant to find out what's new in the tech world this week. Grant, what do you have for us?
Lots of stuff with some of the big tech companies this week, Sehnita, and we will begin with the big week in consumer technology, but still a bunch of things still going on, especially with Google, Apple, and Facebook. And we begin with news from Apple that the new iPad 3 might be released during the first week of March, according to a recent report from tech website All Things D. The new device is said to include several new features, a better dual-core processor and a higher resolution display, although the other features are up to Apple. Either way, the March announcement estimate falls in line with previous iPad announcements in the past years. And also this week, speculation grows over Google reportedly testing a new home entertainment device with its employees. While not much is known and no official announcement has been made, online reports speculate that the device can wirelessly stream throughout a home on a Google hardware device. But what's new about this announcement is that this device is a Google-branded device as opposed to a third-party maker, or opposed to a device from a third-party maker, compared to other products such as Google TV. And, we'll tell you about any Google announcements right here on the CCN Tech Byte when they come in. And finally, internet statistics company ComScore released new data which shows the biggest U.S. advertisers online based on number of ad views. Topping the list is wireless giant AT&T, followed by credit bureau Experian, Verizon, Scottrade, and Google. Also making the list and in the top 10 were Netflix, Progressive Insurance, Microsoft, and eBay. The ComScore data revealed the fact that online advertising as an industry in general was and continues to grow significantly, and the fact that Google is a relatively new company on that list. And that's just making news in the world of technology this week. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Grant. You'll keep us updated. And Hira is here to let us know what the biggest Pasadena crosstown rival match in boys high school basketball is all about. Hira?
Hi, Sehnita. There was electric energy in the Pasadena area as the John Muir Mustangs hosted crosstown rival Pasadena Bulldogs last Thursday. This game drew a massive crowd reaching full capacity early that evening. What was at stake? For Muir, it was a solid shot at the Pacific League title by maintaining a healthy overall record, and for PHS, an opportunity to regain the #1 spot after being title holders for the past 9 years. Oh yeah, and most importantly, going home with bragging rights. Check out the jam-packed action. Tip-off captured by PHS, who dominate early on in the game and slide down the middle for a layup. The number 15 PHS Bulldog makes his first trip to the free money line for 2 good ones. Another one for the Bulldogs, who are determined to reclaim the #1 spot. Muir retaliates with efficient passing followed by a sweet, successful shot. PHS passes the ball and displays solid team chemistry. Here comes Muir, a turnover from Muir. PHS seizes the opportunity with aggressive defense and execute. Muir returns to the bank for a powerful basket. 4 minutes left remaining in the first quarter, 2-12 Pasadena High. Mustangs #0 shows fearless attitude, clearly evoking a fighting spirit. PHS returns with their solid #1 three-point shooting machine. Everyone observes as he effortlessly makes the shot. There's 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the second quarter, 25-40 PHS. Muir Mustang #0 continues to push forward and carry his team on his back by continuously adding points to the scoreboard. It's hardball as the competition level grows higher. Bulldogs for another 3. It's the third quarter with 2 minutes left to spare, 35-52 PHS. The Bulldogs' shots continue and PHS scores again. It's the final league game and Muir does not back down and continue trying their best, showing no signs of quitting despite the major deficit in the fourth quarter, 49-67 PHS. Bulldogs were on point with their offense and defense. The team's unbreakable bond was clearly displayed on the court and naturally result in a PHS victory. Bulldogs crush Muir with the final score, 71-53. Breaking news. Unfortunately, it ends here for the John Muir Mustangs, who will not participate in the CIF Southern Section playoffs or have a shot at the Pacific League title. Their postseason ends abruptly after a student athlete is unable to provide proof of Pasadena residency. Mustangs end their spectacular season with a 24-2 overall record and 13-1 in the Pacific League. Cheers to the Mustangs, who accomplished so much this season. Back to you, Sehnita.
Well, I pictured all of that, Hira, so that was amazing. It was a great game from what you said. So thanks for that. And that's it for this newscast. Thanks to Laura Berger for joining us in studio today. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Southern California Edison, Wink Marketing, and the Pasadena Enterprise Center office building with available office space. Thanks also to the CCN crew. They make this show possible. But finally, we thank you for watching CCN Crown City News. Join us each week as we cover the news in Pasadena and the San Gabriel Valley. For all of us here at CCN, I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Have a great week and happy Valentine's Day.